Welcome back. KwaNobuhle residents in the Eastern Cape are facing a dry Christmas as they have been without water for weeks now. The municipality is blaming the outage on a vandalized pump station. For more on this, I'm now joined by Khanya Ngqisha, who's the Mayco member for engineering and infrastructure in Nelson Mandela Bay municipality. Khanya, thank you so much for your time and for joining us this evening. Now, some areas in Kariga have gone without water for almost 3 weeks now, and seemingly the problem seems to persist as you've put out a statement as the municipality to say that it will be a dry Christmas. What's hindering the progress in getting the water supply back to those communities?
Yes, thank you very much, and to the listeners out there. Indeed, that came to my attention, unfortunately, about 4 to 5 days ago. Immediately when that came to my attention, I gave an instruction to the Director of Water Distribution to immediately send out a team to analyze in terms of what is the root cause of that problem, because we cannot negotiate when it comes to water. Our people must have water. On the same day, I was there myself. And indeed, an analysis was done in relation to the issues that were preventing the water supply. And one of them was the vandalized pump station, which was vandalized probably in May. However, that was not the major issue, because an alternative route to supply water was done in order to feed that community. However, due to the increase in demand of water, then it became an issue, and hence 3-4 days ago, it came to my attention that for 3 weeks, these people have not been receiving water. However, I can tell you now that that contractor, we gave an instruction that they should sit there up until that issue has been attended. Within a space of 2 to 3 days, water was restored, and I can tell you as we speak that community has water, and it is reaching into all of the affected areas. So no one does not have water now. All of those community members have got water, because we acted very fast immediately when it reached my attention.
So the wards 45, 46 and 47, which were expecting not to have water during the Christmas period being tomorrow, you can confirm now that water is flowing within those wards?
I can confirm now that water is flowing within those wards through our reticulation system. Water was confirmed Friday, Saturday. That community, those wards that you just mentioned, are receiving water. We are aware that the community, KwaNobuhle, on its own has got about 250,000 residents. Their current water demand is sitting at about 12 megaliters of water per day, of which we are able to meet. But one of the major issues is that we are sitting with aging infrastructure that was put in place from the days of the 1960s. And so ever since that we've gone into government, we've made now deliberate attempts that each and every financial year we're going to put money aside in order to change the piping system which is underneath, so that it is a system that is able to provide water without causing any form of blockages.
Yes, so you were explaining that you're setting aside budgets in years to come to ensure that you're fixing the issue of aging infrastructure.
Yes, and also the issue of vandalism as well, because remember, KwaNobuhle has got one pump station that pumps water into the entire system. So that was vandalized, and we've continued to educate our people within the various areas to ensure that once we put in an infrastructure, they too have got a responsibility to ensure that it is safeguarded, as much as we too have got that responsibility. So, but we've also taken measures in place that when we are fixing these infrastructure, we want to ensure that there's some form of security plans and systems in place, such as cameras, alarm systems that will go off and be able to warn residents when intruders are coming in to try and vandalize our infrastructure. And also, you must note as well that this position which I occupy now was previously occupied by the DA, who had absolutely no interest and made no deliberate attempts to ensure that the poor and the marginalized people are receiving the attention that they deserve. As I said to you, I tell you now that when this matter reached my attention, same day I was there and made sure that within a space of 2 to 3 days it was resolved. Kwalang, I was facing a similar problem where I was shocked when I came into office. For years they had not been receiving water. We went and met with that community, made an interim measure to give them JoJo tanks, and we 7 days, 7 to 15 days, and we'll resolve that issue of Kwalanga. As I speak to you today, that community as well is receiving water. So there should be no water issues in the entire KwaNobuhle as I speak to you now.
I understand that a part of the problem has to do with aging infrastructure, but the vandalism issue happened as far back as March as opposed to even just May. Why has that taken so long in order for the pump station and the reservoir to be renovated and to be fixed in order for residents to be able to get an essential service such as that of water?
Well, as you understand, there's a lot of red tape when you are dealing with state institutions. It's not like a private company where something breaks today, tomorrow you are able to fix it. So there are certain supply chain processes which need to be taken into place. And also, as I mentioned to you, remember I said to you, one of the major problems that we're having is vandalism. So if there's no security that we can guarantee after we put that infrastructure, tomorrow that infrastructure will be vandalized and it would be a wasteful use of our taxpayers' money. So we want to make sure that there's safety measures are in place, like cameras, as I've mentioned, alarm system, etc., to ensure that that infrastructure is protected. However, the reason for the water cuts in KwaNobuhle was not because of the pump station that was being vandalized alone. That I can say it was 20% of the problem, because there was another cross piping that was put in place in order to meet that demand that was needed in that particular area of KwaNobuhle. However, within next year, within January, we're looking at fixing that pump station, and it should be functional latest by February.
I mean, staying on the issue of vandalism, it's the issue of metal materials and electrical wires that were taken out that made this reservoir and pump station not work. And in restoring it, are you looking to use different types of materials so that you don't find yourselves with this problem? I mean, you've mentioned all the other security measures that you are going to put in place in order for vandalism to be averted. But in putting back those same materials, are you not going to be sitting with the same problem?
No, we are going to put the same material. However, we're just going to put a more advanced security measure in place, of which, for security reasons, I will not divulge here now. But the ones that I've mentioned is just a simple example, because those are the things that we did not have, as simple as you may think they are. In many of our facilities, they are not there, they do not exist. Because, for instance, in your own house, for instance, when you are not there, you put in an alarm so that when an intruder comes in, it will sense and an alarm goes off. Those things we do not have as a municipality. Yet we've got infrastructure that costs a lot of money, and when that infrastructure is damaged, it has a negative impact on our people not receiving water, etc., etc. And so those are the things that we are going to do and we are going to put in place. And we are going to also deal very harshly. And we've said that unapologetically in many of our committee meetings with intruders, those who seek to sabotage the municipality, because all of us need to have some level of patronage. And we should have a zero tolerance, especially in vandalizing infrastructure that belongs to the municipality, because that means that our services are not then able to reach the poor and the marginalized, just like what happened now. 3 weeks ago.
All right, Khanya, thank you so much for your time and for your inputs this evening. That was Khanya Ngqisha, who is the Mayco member for engineering and infrastructure in the Nelson Mandela Bay municipality, speaking to us there that the water situation in Kariga has been averted and that pumps are flowing, and certainly the KwaNobuhle municipality will be enjoying Christmas with some water.